はい、やっていこう。ディスコエリジウム続き。今、そうだなぁ。ゴミ箱から見つかったものの報告と、
Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin,
今更だ。
reunited on your feet, like two baby crocodiles.
2匹の赤ちゃんワニだなぁ。普通の警官が履くような靴には見えないんだ
It's
が。
pretty clear a normal
そうですね。
cop is not what you are.
居
Good,
心地は
we're
なかな
balanced,
かいい。
comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now.
これって自分周りで調べられるんだ。なんだい修士学。なんだ
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
また
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again.
作ったんだ。
You've built it before. They've built it before.
お
Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love too?
彼らも以前に作った。今のところ機能してないし愛もない。愛を育むものやめておくか。俺たちはみんな愛を育むのをやめるべきだ。私の頭の中で恋愛が行われるの？恋愛じゃないか。愛し合うのかみんな。愛は俺にとって実にうまく機能してるんだよ。
Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street is it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted by human beings. Is that right? You keep saying things like down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
言った覚えないな。
Okay, not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about to rip off that mask of social democracy and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that will devour and masticate mankind.
130いるんでしょ。
Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
予算すぎってどういうことですか？百科事典よろしく。
Failure.
違った。
It's about failure.
はい、ということだ。はい
Yes, abject failure. Total,
あー、
irreversible
30 分
defeat
なっちゃったよ。
on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb stomped and pissed on. Until
労働者
you
たち
came
の運命を
along,
逆転させる
you
ことが
will
できる。
reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother.
難しいこと言っとるな。
Against the atom, the charm and the spin.
ね
Where the
全
whole
部に立ち向
world
かう。
failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last
難しい
communist.
こと言いよるな。
Now get to work, comrade.
構築始める？そんなのしんどすぎるよ。私苦手です。
Very
そういう
well.
の。
I guess no one will build communism then. Tell the working man it's over, unless anyone has
誰か
objections.
意義はあるか？
Anyone? Anyone else?
ほら、あ
There's
なただけじゃん。
There's one.
あ、意志力さんも言ってるの？これはどうすればいい？
You should build communism
作り上げた方がいい？
because it's impossible.
まさに不可能であるからこそ。意志力さんには私結構従いたくなるんだけど。始めるか。
Oh yeah. Get the firing
やっぱや
squads
め
and
た。
the animal wagons ready.
そんなの聞いてないぞ。
Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few million
やめと
eggs.
きゃよかった。あ、マゾフ派。思考ゲット。はい。価計算減っちゃうんだ。3時間で。共産主義は40年前に天罰が下ったクレイジーな考えだと思われがちだ。だけ世界を震え上がらせた熱病であり、二度と戻ってこなかったと、その通りだった。今日、彼がコモドールレッドと売春婦とクラスマゾフにしか反応を示さない精神的死骸が目覚めるまでは、彼にとって共産主義はまだ死んでいない。彼となら幽霊と海藻に覆われた。2年コミューンの独力で開口から引き上げるだろう。彼こそが偉大なる共産主義の実現者だ。51年に共産主義を蘇らせようとする試みを目撃せよ。失敗したかもしれない。でもこれをもらえたっていうのはどうなんだろうね。逆選んでたら他のもらえてたのかなというか今日やりたいこと全然やってない。お金足りなくて今回終わるんじゃない？ゲーム終わるんじゃないゲームオーバーになるんじゃない？ 2 周目？お金ないよ。早くここのおばあちゃんにお金を。あ、来てる。おはよう。あ、ワイワイしているね。こんにちは。
Can I help you?
鍵とりあえず返すね。
I hope you found what you were looking for.
被害者の衣服見つけ
How
た。
strange. I certainly didn't put
こ
them
れじゃ
there.
ないぞ。女性が怪しいな。知ったこと覚えてないだけだろう。スタッフの誰かが、他に廃物入れの鍵を持ってる人間は
The trash collection service?
収
CS
集
Municipal.
サービス。
I don't see why they would
CS
put anything in
ミ
the
シュ
trash.
ミュ
though.
ニシパル。はい。そうね、回収するんじゃなく捨てていった理由がわからんな。
the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
店のスタッフの誰かが捨てたんじゃ
Sylvie
な
had
い？
the keys before I got
Sylvie.
here, and I can vouch for her.
いや、わから
I
ん
can
よ。
vouch for all my stuff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
わからんよ、
Yes.
それは。別のものを発見
Another
した。
thing.
私の
Great.
服です。
I love those.
あれ？
Yes.
だね。ダメだって。起きてるね、この人。あ、起きてるじゃない。新しい人だ。結局は金
That
がすべ
sugary
て。
black
何？
rum
電気
stain
化
on
学
the
さん。
counter makes you teary
ラム酒
eyed
だ。
with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is.
目
How
が覚
long
めて
have
から
you
ね、
been up
8
already?
かなり経ったな。今はよせ。今はよせ。
Oh, excuse me. Do you have
Eh?
something better to do than lust for sweet syrupy rum and lemonade? With
わ
a
あ、美味し
twist of
そう
lemon,
ね。
maybe lime. Maybe who cares? Just
あ、
rum.
一舐めぐらいならいいかな。
Yeah, man. Yeah. Your Mesolimbic reward pathway is going
Eh?
wild at the thought. Lick it, lick it, lick it. Your receptors
私
charmed.
少しだけね、少しだ
Calmly,
け。
the lieutenant looks out of the window. Then to you, licking the tasty rum stain off the
ご
counter.
めん、ごめんな
but
さい。
only
キムさん
a
の
little.
信用を
Then
失っ
out
た。
of the window again.
What are you doing?
眠くない。眠くない。そうさ。アルコール依存症なんだ。どうよかな。定期的に摂取しないとダメな
We
んだ。
should move.
ごめん。
You could definitely go for some more. The titillating scent of alcohol
ご
in
め
your
ん。
nostrils was beautiful.
今日捨てたのは誰か？酒を見つけて飲め。使いが辛すぎる。やだよ。これは？
By the way,
百
where
科事典だ。
is home?
あ、お前
The
の家
address
は
is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it.
ぼって
But
覚え
you've
て
been
ない。
at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights.
ここで寝
Where
泊
were
まり
you
してたは
before?
ず。
You had to be somewhere.
バックかな。どこって言われてたっけ？なんか言われた気がするんだよね。マー ーベルヒルの上だ。関係ない気がする。奥かな。
You don't really know, do you?
わからないな。漠然とした黒っぽいイメージしかないや。
A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
どうにかして元来た道をたどれないかな。ねえ、正確な通りの名前、正確な番地まで。
You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
あ、そういうのを見て思い出すみたいなのがあるんだ。知らんよ。あった。技術記憶の復活。6時間。最初の方にやっとくべきだった。時間巻き戻せ。家までの飲んだくれた足取りをたどってみよう。南西にある上げられた跳ね橋を飛び越える。転ぶ。起き上がる。アスファルトの道を20分ほどで抜け、中庭を通って幼い子供たちを怖がらせる。高架道路の881号線の下を抜け、スタジャムロックのドメーヌエミナまで歩く。この時期の街は氷に覆われている。メインストリートを通ってパーディションへ。ここへ狭い路地があり、泥にお前の足跡が残っている。まあ内面化できない。スロットが足りないんだ。スロット足りないんだ。じゃあギオムルミニオンせっかく取ったけど、あれ、忘れるってなっちゃうんだ。そうなのね。そっか。じゃあどちらかというとこれよりこっちかな。よし。あなたは相変わらずなんだな。
The worker isn't a deep. Perhaps he's on his way to where you just came from, into the primordial darkness.
電車の底へと向かっているの
On
で
the
しょう
counter,
な。
rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine.
いや、はいらん。何？ストのポスターがあるんだな。モーター音が聞こえている。はい、食品が乾かしてある。こんにちは。
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook.
奥さん。
As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Goransi and Kubek. It must be his name.
ゴランツェ・クベック。
Goransi Kubek
失敗してるよ。
sounds representative.
いくつか伺ってもいいですか？
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
鍋がた
He
くさんある
smiles
な。
and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
芸術的だな。用事は済んだ。その調子で頑張れよ。何も見つけられなかった。せっかく通れるようになったのに。こんにちは。
Hello again, sweetie.
ごめん、お金ちょっともらえません。
Sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your
ねえ。
financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
If she could, this woman would feed and clothe you and every other sad, lost person on this earth.
心情に訴えようか。
Your deportment remains dignified as you shed a single manly
そんな
tear.
こと頼みたくないんだが、もう万事休すなんだ。ほんとあとちょっとで。
Sweetie, I only have a
わずか
few
な額
cents
でも。
on me, but
そっか。
I could give you this to pawn.
ちょ
Just
っ
to
と
tide
そ
you
れは
over.
ちょっとそれは申し訳ないやつ。
He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas relief with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A
ボート
chipped
レー
green
ス。
banner at the bottom reads, San Baptiste, Summer 31, Dinghy Races.
うん。どこで手に入れたの？
Cross the plaza and follow the road along the coast. Down by the water, there'll be a shack nestled against an old stone facade. That's the pawn shop. An old friend of my husband's goes there often. He says the owner is quite helpful.
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your
Hi.
inventory under the Items tab. You can pawn these items when talking to Roy.
羽に余裕ができたら必ず買い戻す
Oh,
よ
it's。not an ancient family
Ah,
heirloom or anything, but I suppose it would be nice to get it back.
うわあ、あんたにもら
I
った
hope
ピ
you
ン
were
だ
able
が。
to pawn that old trinket.
ああ。もう一度お礼が言いたかった。
Of
一
course,
回
dear.
ね。一
I
回。
just
いくらだ？ 3.20 か。厳しいな。厳しいな。うわあ、思い出の品としてメモリを感じる。6.30。レアルって、6リアルしか持ってないやん。どうしたものか。困ったな。困ったな。一応持っておくよ。ありがとう。上にいろんな人に聞きたいけど、先にドライバー関係の人怪しいから聞いてみよう話を。子供たちも話がないと。あなたも怪しいのよ。こんに
I
ちは。
can't believe it's snowing again. It felt like springtime just a few days ago.
警察クソくらいってのはなんだ？
Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should drop this line of questioning.
やった方がいいかもしれない。標識に警察クソくらいと書いてある。
Oh. Well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here.
もう一つの豚は豚小屋に帰れっては。なんだ？誰のことだ？
I don't know anything about that either. As
Pig is a widely used term for members of the police. It's not loving.
No need to worry. We are
心
not
配
saying
な
you
く。
did.
そうですね。
Okay. Well, I didn't.
なんだい。あなたちょっと疑いかかってるのよ。あなたはいい人だと私は
Now
信
it's
じてる
turning
け
into
ど。
a kind of a snow limbo, man.
まだ
What's on your
60か。教官に振らないといけないんだ。ビルポイント使っちゃった。あとトラックドライバーといえばこの人だよな。
Looking for something?
このカップを見つけたんだが。
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
あんたのか？
God damn. Thanks for that, but
あ、
no,
あなたのじゃ
it's
ない
not
んだ。
mine.
何を
Oh, not
運ん
much
でる
anymore.
んだの話
I'm
は
here
もう終わり
to
か。
apples. Fine.
He's given you the runaround.
うん。
Let
あら、終わっちゃったか。と聞くとなったら子供たちだったはず。あれ。まずいな。まずいな。時間が足りんぞ。よいしょ。よいしょ。
Fuck, does Kuno care?
現場についてさらに質問がある。
The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it?
ゴミ箱の中で被害者の服が見つかったん
Yeah,
だ。
Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath
え
Kuno.
知りたいんだ。手がかりになるかもしれない。 電源場に手を加えた可能性
Listen,
がある。
listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there. Jumped the diving. Sad shit.
あさったとも。
Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price.
500リアル
You'd have to be blind not to notice the giant white letters FALN running down his
被
trousers.
害者の服に何があったのか聞いてるんだぞ。何がそんなにすごいんだ？ズボン履いている。とりあえずプレゼン聞きみようか。FALN。
Pig, these are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Made in Mirova by scientists. Pants scientists. Believe it, you need this shit.
ラーファイトブラックで見たところ
These
新
could
品。
drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban
でもお
wilderness.
金全然ないよ。
Coach Physical Instrument
お、
endorses these
肉体
pens.
装置コーチの太鼓判を捨てる。
They will also make you into an idiot.
バカな中身入りだ。被害者の服について知りたいんだよ。
Kuno ain't seen shit lying around. Except for that up there. Now you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
うん。
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, I told you
ちょっと
so,
欲しいかもし
any
れない
louder.。
Alright,
後で
Pickle.
話そう。
Shit's rolling.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno. He's gonna steal all your money, Kuno.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust
うん、
you.
私、
Can't do business
はい。
without trust.
信用しないといけない。
There's more to his distrust
Yes, I
than
didn't
being
know.
a pig. He feels threatened by something
え、
obscure in
何
you.
か、どういう
What
感
that
じてい
is,
る。
however, remains a puzzle for
う
now.
ん、マグカップもあ
The
った。
fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again?
歴史的背景を無視したマグカップは何か関係があると思うか？差別的なマグカップ。はい。
Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker? Cause he's the clothes fucker?
ああ、どうなんだ
Can't hear
ろ
you,
う。
Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
マグカップ関係あるのかな？誰か服やら何やらゴミ箱に捨てて現場を荒らし
Shit,
たんだ。
that's tense. Someone's going
お、
to the
ちょい
beat
ちょい
down
持ってくれ
basement,
て
huh?
る。
Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator. Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching.
だー。
Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah, get your bacon
Ah.
shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit
Popo.
done and out of Kuno's face.
また、
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
お前の小屋につ
The
いてま
fuck
た
do
聞
you
こ
want
う。
with it?
豚の皮何あれ。
Oh, that. Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno
デモ
demo
テー
tape.
プだ。クールな豚の頭だな、気に入ったよ。俺も一つ持ってるんだ。ここに。クソ頭だ。ちょっとのデモテープだ。
What?
あ、困惑させちゃっ
What
た
is。this shit? Fucking
ごめん、
on yourself.
ごめん
This is
ね。
weird level shit.
Fuck your
乗せ
shit
よう
back
とし
to
たの
normal.
に、
What is this?
面白
Well
くなかっ
played.
た。
No one saw that coming.
面白くなかったか。粉の付着した皿って何？
That's
あ
where
ったっ
Kuno
け？
gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam.
やってるんだ。
Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you?
電気化
You
学出
feel
てきた
tired and
な。
old, but you could have that
マグ
sparkle
ネ
in
ゾラム
your
のチュー
eyes.
ブはどうした？
It's a vitamin,
ビ
pig.
タミン剤。
Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
マグネ。そうかよ。
Okay,
Eat it
whatever.
up.
You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, and you look like you could use a battle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
マグネシウムのことなら詳しいぞ。いつも世話になってる。
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag.
マ
You're
グ
gonna
早
OD
い
and
か。
you're gonna fucking
引っか
die.
かってるのは俺のコートか？間違いなく俺だ。あ、そうだそうだそう
Is
だ。
it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all that.
ハメを外した？
Don't sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty secrets. Kuno's not snitching.
あ、告げ口しない？
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably saw you do it.
登るところは見た。え、
Good
こ
call,
の辺
pig
で終わり
meister.
か。
Don't come and talk to Kuno about
あ
the
につ
fuck
いて。
about it.
あ、もうか、もう
You're
見た
testing
な。
Kuno.
Get lost.
もう行くよ。ヤッホー。
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
レースの向こうにいるやつ。おぞうは。でもいい子だから絶対違うよね。こ
You
の前。
don't wanna fuck with me. I got my hands bloody. I'm not here, pig. You're not seeing this.
You can still see the top of her
帽
hat
子のてっ
from
ぺん見え
behind
て
the
るよ。
fence.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
いい子だから。
Murder was the case they gave me.
く
I'll die before I squeal.
Stop.
What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die than squeal.
Get the fuck out of here, Faith.
あ
You
ー、来る
got
のに
done. Talk to
どうなるのか。あれ、あ、どうした？こういう表示が出たらやった方がいいんだな。多分。あれ？一瞬出るけどな。あ、出ない？出なくなっちゃった。何だったんだ今の一瞬。あのコート欲しいな。服を捨てたのは誰だ？うん。金を返せ。ブラックパンツを買え。お金ないって全然。マップも欲しいな早く。鍵を開けるのに使えるバールを手に入れたけど、ビニール袋装備したいけどないんだよな。上登ろう一回。あの女の人に話を聞こう。ヤッホ
The
ー。
door is closed.
Knock.
Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick. He doesn't like where this is going.
あ、この先の展開怖がってる。そうか。ズンズンズンズンズン。あ、お金だ。でも自分の部屋でやることそんなもうないよね。9時までだよね、確か。
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too morbid to ignore.
眠くないこんな状態で。
No problem, officer.
出て行きたがってるな。つまんな。そろそろ鏡見られないかな？
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
非常に低いですね、この表示を消すの。こっち何があるんだ？気になるな。箱を開けられるか。チェーンカッターじゃダメかな。あ、ダメか。箱が開けられるだけか。じゃあ戻ろう。 ゃあストライキをしているところに行く？私カラオケ歌いたいんだけどな。あ、そこ開けられるじゃん。
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. You immediately feel drawn to the
秘密の色だ。
blue is for mystery.
どこに通じてるんだろ
You do?
う。
It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
そうよ、このドアだってワーリングインラグズの一部だよ。気にする義務がある。何かが関連したものがあるかもしれん。
Yes, I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in. Just to be thorough, as a side investigation.
小さな付随捜査だ。
Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
アルテに聞くべきだと思う。店長に聞くべきか。一応聞くか。ヤッホー。はい。
Can I help you?
別のもの発見した。
Great.
鋼鉄製の青いドア。
That door. Sure. There's nothing mysterious
何があ
about
る
it.
か知ってる
It's
か？
just a door.
鍵を。
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk.
He's attempting to maintain an air of
男子を装ってい
indifference.
る。
It's absolutely not convincing.
どういうのが気になってるんだ
Fine,
ろう？
okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though. After the
鍵一つも見
animals.
つからなかっ
And I
た。
haven't found it. Yes.
どうだ？
You see a heavy steel door with the cobalt blue surface feels
押
rough.
して
The
みる。
door does
びく
not.
ともしない。ヤッホー、そこの開け
The
方
man
知らない？
ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod. He looks up at you, then looks away
肩をすく
quickly.
めている。
Shrugging. Shrugging is an international sign for no, I don't know what's behind that door.
そっか。ないです。お金がないですよ。まずビニール袋があればな、瓶を集められるんだが、瓶集めたところでお金手に入んないと思うけどね。南の方行ってないよな。なんだい？気候変動があったんだな。水は出ていない。こりゃなんだ？マカロニ。こんにちは。
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When the name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
何がそんなにクールなんだ？
Everything's cool. The goods are cool. The customers are cool. The place is cool. And what you're very cool.
あんただ。
Bang, 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 bang.
本当に？おだてに乗るか？来るかどうかはどうだっていいん
You're
だ。
right, officer. 100%.
はい。
No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you in some premium menswear instead.
ここでやってるのはどういうもんなん
Only
だ？
the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right
あれ
here.
ないんだ。
No shame, only freedom.
履き心地最高のズボンってのはどこで手に入れ
I'm
た？
an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board.
許可受けてるのかい？あ、そうなの。
We don't have permits. Just economic freedom. Take a look around.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and a dust-choked air.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
そうなんだな。本当なのか？
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel like it.
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool.
なんで、まあ許可ない必要ないんだな。以上です。
Anything for you.
人道支援物資と書かれているのはなぜだ？
You mean these delicious pre-packaged shelf-stable meal kits? Really easy to cook, no hassle, really cheap too. Buy some.
転売価と書かれて、ああ、人道支援として受け取ってるものを売ってるんだな。転売不可と書かれているようだが、こんなの作ったってな。
They're very delicious and shelf-stable. You can keep all this out in the sun come summer. Try it. Buy some tuna. Won't rot. Unbotable. Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now.
This man probably comes from Sea Guy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samoan Isola.
出身なんでしょう？
Sea Guy, Apricot Suzerainty. It's all the same to me. It's all cool. I'm interested in sales.
ありがとう。いいか。中。不良品。
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
この中は
These are all boring.
ああ、そっか。
Boring third rate. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium.
いやー、お金がないです。お金がないですよ。こりゃなんだ？ヘルプライン。跳ね橋を管理している会社のヘルプラインがあって。下水道。あー、ここまでか。あ、ゴミ。おー、指なしテープロ。電気工学が上がったな。プロあったか。ロイの質屋。あ、質屋さんあったね。これはなんだ？あ、ノザフェドね。こんにちは。うわぁ、いろいろあるね、質屋さん。何かの機械。銅像。映写機。あ？
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. Yes, buy something nice. A figurine. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
A long, long time ago. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
Which one?
強盗派の兵士か
those.
おう
Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
フォローを着ている小僧を
This
調
set
べ
of
る
soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
これも兵士だ
You're
っていうの
probably
か
talking about
革
the
命家たちか
revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
人の希望をなくすためのもんだろう。不可能だカルテに聞いてみるといい。もう少しニュアンスにこだわってほしかったな。いた人の希望をなくすためのものなんだろう。希望なんて持っても無駄なんだ。ポジティブに行こう。
Maybe.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity
彼には
by
独
these
自の解
stories.
釈があるかもしれま
Might
せん。
be interesting to find out what it
なんだ
is.
失敗したら怒られるかな。クールな小僧を取り出す。
Why?
あ、いた。
What's this? A headless man riding a
あ、
horse.
首なし男
A
が馬に
headless
乗ってい
man
る。
wearing futuristic tracksuit
Ah,
trousers that
ah.
Sam found.
Oh, that's the headless phone rider.
誰だって？
The headless phone rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head.
そんな都市伝説が。
50 cents. Bargain price.
無理だよ。
I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has
あ、これは
many
50セン
interpretations.
トか。50セントなら買えるな。
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky?
なんかに使える
That
かも
was
し
a
れ
very
ん。
smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off.
お金稼ぐはずが買ってしまったよ。アイテムこれ。あの少年にさ、これ渡してなんか教えてくれないかな。
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb.
筋のプリ
Oh
ント。
yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by
エル
burning
ムダ
embers.
ル炎上。
Behind him is the antlers on the hood of the man's cloak, and his piercing blue eyes are familiar.
ん？一体何なんだ？
It's the man from Hendal.
エルムダルから来た男。
Walking away from his burning village.
へ
Yes.
ー。
Their matter-of-fact tone belies their surprise at the fact that you didn't recognize the figure in the print.
当然の有名人らしいな。最近記憶をなくしちまったんだ。力貸して。困ってるんだ。とりあえずヘルムダルから来た男について教え
The
て。
man from Helmdale is the hero of a series of popular
人気小
books
説シリー
based
ズ
on
の
a
主人
fictional
公。
version of Kotla. Mostly what is nowadays Arda
アルダ
NFD.
NFD。
In fact, most people don't think that man from Helmdale ever really
お、こ
existed.
の人を信じてる
But
ん
they
だ。
are wrong.
Hendal isn't a real place.
Neither is the man a real man, of course. But both the man and Helmdal are an ontological necessity.
へー。
But hey, it's not worth getting into an argument about.
不在したっていうのはどういうこと
I
だ？
mean, even if the man from Helmdale didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so that he has. It's simple, really.
Okay.
なるほど。
You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated.
え？
All that's required is a more robust understanding of cause and effect.
物語のおかげで彼は存在するようになった。
Besides, I've been to Kotla. Though not quite as far north as the Helmdal, and watched northern lights travel across the sky.
His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual neural activity.
不思議な人ですね。
Interesting. Very, very unique energies indeed. Geomagnetic ley lines, one might even say.
ちなみにいくら？
2 real.
無理。
That's dirt cheap.
ただ同然？いやいやいやいやいやいや。ただでくれし考えてお
You
くよ。
should.
いやいやいや、2は出せんぞ。こっちは？
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
そう？
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
どういうことでこいつを手に入れた
It
んだ？
was brought to me to be altered.
そう依頼さ
We
れ
are
た
not。here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
あ、そうよね。機械系好きよね。いくらするんです
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
ガイロから切り離すのは苦労しただろう。
Hey, I don't know where it came from, but it's not every day you get to buy
無理
and
無
sell.
理。
It's not
Konnichiwa.
often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his
警官の威
protector,
厳ってものはま
just
るで
watching
な
the
い。
movement of light
最
across
近
the
トラ
wall
ブ
of
ル
the
なか
shop.
った？
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
嫌われてるな、警
Who are your
察。
customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal. As you can see, I have a wide selection of
か
goods
なり
for
のコ
everyone
レ
to
クション
choose
だ
from.
な。
It keeps me entertained.
ストーリーはハイになってるのか？そうだとしたら何を決めている？お、調べてみようか。高いし。
Feeling warm and
Yes.
enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind
精
continues to
神
race
向上
forward.
薬を飲んで
Lucky
るんだ。
bastard. He's a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
僕は高く感じるんだけど、だが俺だけか？
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
There's a note of indignation in his
怒っ
voice.
てる？
Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your
あ、
jacket.
三角は何？
I was with the emergency relief brigade.
どう？
You know,
はい。
after the People's Pile disaster.
ああ。
Had to take Perolidon for radiation sickness.
あ、
That's what
言
you
ってく
were
れたんだ
hinting
な。
at just now, wasn't it?
放射線病の治療のために
He's
必要だった
taking
ん
the
だ。
mental and emotional, not physical
最
pain
近は
these
痛み
days.
ではなく精神的な理由で。それ、知りたいな。大変だったろうな。
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
発電機がお作動を起こしたのは誰のせいだったんだ？
Everyone's.
そうよね。
So much bitterness.
ああ、ごめん。
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is
もう
going
ちょっ
to
と聞いて
happen?
大丈夫かな？あんま
We
り
were an
聞いたら悪い
all-volunteer
気がするけ
force,
ど。
self-organized,
ボ
tried to
ラン
help
ティ
the
アで
fire
構成
brigades
された
contain
いい
the
人
spill.
だったんだな。
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. Didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud.
あ、でも
Years
立派よ。
getting sick.
飲酒の
A
原
bad
子炉。
idea. Some poor leftist built a particle
Ah.
decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities.
安くやろう
It
として失敗したんだな。
Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
どうして質屋を影響す
The
ることになっ
cleanup
たんだい？
happened
経営すること
15
に。
years ago. I was young then. Later, my second
お
aunt
ば、おば
died.
を継いだんだな。
Left me this shack, and also I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forberg as I can. I like the theory more than the story.
そっか、理論語る方
Outward
が好き。
Yeah,
movement.
you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
見たいものがあるんだ
Let
が、
me have a look.
チケットを見てみる
Anything
よ。
else you're thinking of selling?
ね。いやー、はした金だのな。やめた。売る前にいくつか質問がある。お、ピンバッジを見せるだけ見せる。
Somebody's summer dinghy rates is 31. What a pleasant time that was. So, what do you want to know? Price? I can give you $3.20 for it.
ああ。だが売りに出すのは何日か待ってくれないか？ピンバッジは返すと約束したんだ。
Sure, I can keep it behind the
あ、
counter
そ
for
う
a
いうこ
week,
と？
but only if you pawn it right now.
あ、それだけだ。あれ？売れない
A
だ
pin
ろ
from
う。
31 ought to be priced at $3.10, but I added another 10 cents
それだけ
just
だ。
to make sure thing. So,
あ、
do
売
you
ってない
want to
か。
sell anything?
服を売り
I'm
たいん
not
だが。
purchasing
あ、
any
服
more
買いたりやっ
clothing
て
at
な
the
いんだ。
moment, and especially that tie. It swallows
ネクタイ
photons
いただ
around
けな
it.
い。
I have no need for necrotic objects.
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparkle in the light of the projector!
あー、そっかそっか。
Another time, perhaps.
助けになってくれるか
I
もしれな
doubt
い。
it, but I can try and answer any
お、
questions
秘
you
密
may
事件につい
have.
て何か知らな
I
い？
do my best to keep my distance from all manner
Ah.
of butchery. Bad for
Ah.
business.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
銃持ってたりしない？
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same
え、売っ
question.
たか。
I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days
なんだっ
back.
て？え、自分銃を七に入れたの？
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another.
俺があ
Alert.
んたに銃を売っただって？
You,
With Kim here too. That just
ま
sounded
ずいな。
really bad.
you were adamant about getting rid of it, officer.
どうし
Said
ても
you
手
were
放したかったんだ。
undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens
自分に
Militia.
持つ価値がないと言って
And I
いた
don't。like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole
う
story.
ん。
It seems he's
言って
trying
な
to
いこと
stay.
がある。だろう？
You weren't quiet
本
yourself,
気を失ってい
officer.
たように見えた。
You
ど
were
んな様
very
子だった？
distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and
銃を持
that
つ
you
自信が
can't
ない。
trust yourself with
金が
it
必
tonight.
要。
And when I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the
う
gun
わ
barrel
ー、
in
銃
your
身を
mouth
口に
and
突っ
sort
込ん
of
でしゃぶり始めた。
sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
いくらで売った？
15 real.
15リアルで売った
The
んだ。
lieutenant looks from you to Roy and then back to you. It's
ごめん
clear
ね、
that
過
he
去の
hopes
自分
this
がなんかやら
tableau
かし
might
たっ
still
ぽ
turn
い
out to。be. This has got to be the most. Wow. There's pity there too,
哀れみを感じているん
in
だ
case you
な。
didn't notice.
許しいところを見せて悪かったな。
No apologies necessary, officer.
買ったやつも警官だっ
She
た
didn't
か？
seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig. which
や
was
っぱ
odd.
あそこの店長
I
さん
found
が
her
怪しい
interest
よ。
in the gun a bit
女性の方のね。
obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
Hmm. この状況は気に食わないさ。もし彼女が罪を犯してそれを市民軍のせいにするつもりだったらどうする？
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force.
見つけないと
We have to find
ね
her.。
どこにいるかわかる？
My apologies, officer,
そう
but
か
I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
経緯は分かったな。他に用ができたよ。いやー、全くいいことがない。悪いことしか起こらないな。でも今フィギュアを買ったので少年と何かが取引できるかもしれないぞ。よいしょ。あとお店もさっきのセントで買える分だったら
There are clothes inside.
Don't be shy.
見
You
る。
find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments. The box smells like cat piss
ひどいも
or
んだ
like
な。
an old person with no
Economical, but also trendy. Look firsthand.
価値のあるものをとりあえず探す。
The economy.
Something cold grazes your hand.
防
Synthetic
水
and sleek.
ス
A
ポーツ。
windbreaker.
お
Surf,
ウ
it
ィンドブ
says.
レーカーか。
Also,
Good choice, officer. Mega
Taka.
sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
あ、こっちを見るだけ見よう。
you see two lowly,
スピーカー台
defeated
に置かれ
speakers,
たスニ
thralls,
ーカーか。
slaves basically, perched atop
ファ
them
ン
like
シリーズの
conquerors.
や
I
つだ。
can see you have a taste for luxury, officer.
スピー
These
カー欲
once
し
respectable
い。
speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by a small heat emboss on the veneer reads, Solidarity aid from the People's
全体
Republic
支援
of
品
Samara.
なんだ。
The speak
No, no, don't look at the
スニー
speakers,
カーを見てほしい。
officer.
わかっ
Look at
た
the
よ。
sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here.
スピーカーの方はどうなん
These,
だ？
officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props.
Samaran trash.
あ
That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
あ、サマラ製のスピーカーを買わせてくれ
No
ない
way,
か？
officer.
あ、そっ
These
か。
aren't for sale.
え
They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
だがスピーカーが必要なんだよ。
Well,
Oh.
if you want them. But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go
あ
of
ー、
the
そっか。
speakers,
先にスニーカーを買わないといけないん
I
だ
can't。leave premium lifestyle sneak. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy
50
the
セントで
sneakers
ス
too,
ニーカーを買え
A
ば
pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a
those sneakers, mister, those sneakers are the latest found sneakers.
おレアもの超高品質。あー、50リアルは無理だ
only. That's madness.
立ち去る。ダメだ。無理。よし、少年にフィギュアを見せよう。今日は車中泊だな。車内泊です。立たない。少年まだいる？ヤッホー。
Fuck does Kuno care?
クノってのは誰？そう
Kuno's Kuno
だよ
pig.
ね。うん。なるほどな。
Shoot that shit at Kuno
え
pig or
ー
not?
っと、思い
The
の
fuck
強
do
い。
you want with it?
あれ？
Good call, Pigmeister. The fuck about it?
あ、
You're testing. Get lost. Kuno doesn't.
ダメか。
die before I squeal, pig.
あれ渡せないのか。子供用のはしご。成人男性の体重は支えきれないだろう。どうしよう。開けられない箱あったっけ？この上なんか開けられない箱なかったっけ？あ、見られなかった。これ取れない？取られないな。あっちはいけない？雨水で満たされている。欲しいな、それ。箱、来なかったっけ、こっちの方。開けられない箱。これ勘違いか。あ、でもお金が落ちてる。やった。なかった。手前側ってない？ないか。あれ、戻ろう。もういい時間だわ。下からブンってジャンプで取れそうだけどな、それ。
Be still, my beating heart. It's
精神薬
amphetamine.
だ。
The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
誰かここでハーブを使った。
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. How, but that there was an interesting find. An alternative path into the
港に出
harbor
ているん
that
だ。
the kid
いい仕
uses.
事をしたね。
Well done.
港の方行ってみるか、一回。試しに。どう？まで行こう。あ、飛び降りになるんだよね、やると。いけないでしょ？もういけないでしょ。あ、ダメでした。ダメでしたね。そっか。未だにあの死体を下ろしてあげられてないんだけど。どうすりゃ下ろせるんだ。鼻を押さえているからいけないのか。いやー、仕方ないか。そういう
There
表
he
現
still is,
苦手なんだよ
looking
な。
right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely
ドフを
dedicated
外して
to
や
that
ろう。
corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd
その場
expected.
から離れる。オッケ
Too late. It's impossible to keep
ー。
in.
離れ
Your
る。
body curls
無理
and
だった
pushes it
か。
out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet,
大
and
丈
your
夫か、
throat stings
体。
from the stomach acid. The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab.
It's okay. Happens to everyone.
うん、ありがとう。持っていてくれ。悪いな。
The hangover is clearly making these worse for you.
あ、そ
You
こ
could
ま
use
で
some
は
ammonia
使いは
to
原因
clear your
か。
head.
うん。アンモニアがあれば平気なのか。
If you can handle the headache, some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor.
あんたは使わない
I
の
can't
か？
handle the headache.
あ
It's more likely he can handle the smell,
あ、うん。
unlike you.
耐えられるんだな、この人。すごいな。
That
どこ
young
で手に
woman,
入
the
る？
gardener, mentioned she used
あ
sauce for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fruit store nearby.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
あ、そっか、失敗したらもうダメなんだ。そっか。じゃあ、無駄なことをしたな。庭師からもらえるかな。お店で買うべきか。庭師さんからもらえるかな。すまない。
Hello again, officer.
塩持ってる？
Sure.
ありがとう。
I'm done with them.
ありがとう。もう行かなきゃ。よーし、これで成功するかな。ハンカチありがとう。トルティエ。これはアイテムをその場でやるんだろうな、使うんだろうな。頼らさんといかんもんな。
There he still is, looking right through you with his
マ
white
ニア持ってるけど
eyes.
8% だよ。無理、結局。無理じゃん。キムさんやってよ。耐えられるんなら。自分には無理だ。どうしよっかな。どうしよっかな。反対側のお店の方は見てないんだよね。いい時間だから、お客さんとかも追加で来てそうだよな。
This Postler Vantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant.
いい子だ、郵便局ちゃん。すっごい撫でた
The
な。
box seems happy.
嬉しそうだね。
Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon,
あ、クーの参上。
Saint G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
なんかよ、その気持ちわかるぞ。
The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder.
バイバイ。よし、こんにちは。
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
こんにちは。
Are you interested in a new and exciting
本屋
book?
さん。どういう店なん
It's
だ
a
い？
bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime,
犯罪
Romance,
とロマンス
and
と偉
Biographies
人
of
伝がお
famous
店の
people.
名前。
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
本ってなんだ？
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter.
絵は
A
がきは
postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend.
She is unfazed by your questions. She would consider it impolite to point out any perceived
ボードゲームっ
weirdness.
Board
て
games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones,
カードを
but
買ってま
sailors
す。
here mostly buy
ボ
cards.
ードゲーム流行ってるの？
My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
質問してもい
Okay,
い？
sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
君の名前は？
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register
Plaisance
or organizing the
母の
stock.
名。
Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
なぜ外に立ってるんだ？
I'm signaling that the store is open.
ああ、そっか。
Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters.
寒
She
いだ
covers
ろ
her
う。
face,
何か手伝ってやろうか？
but she's cold.
Kind of you to offer, sir.
あ、ごめんね。
What could you do to help her
そう
anyway?
ね。君は偉いな。いきなり撫でる？こと言ってやろうか。でもお母さんだよね。
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store.
いろいろあるんだな。偉人ってのは
kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
名声の秘訣を探ろうとしてみんな読
Seems
め
like
たと
most
思う。
people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
あ、そうね。そっかそっか。ロマン
It's
ス
the
って
type
の
of
は
book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
貧しい男と金持ちの女がくっつくのは
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly.
なる
Those
ほ
are
ど。
unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have
最
lost,
後はハッピーエン
but
ド
then
で
it all
すよ。
turns out just fine in the end.
男が両方とも悪い
These
場
are
合
not
は
very common.
一
You
般的
can't
で
have
は
a
ない
choice
ですよ
between
ね。
bad and, well,
すごく
maybe
上
then
手に
it's
書かれ
fine.
てたら
Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes,
選
that
ば
would
れ
be
ない
interesting.
男性たち。いつもこいつも貧乏の場合は
That's really not a proper romance story.
日常生
That's
活
more like
確か
everyday
に
life.
現実的な書くことも
Not
書
in
くの大
romance
事だ
books,
ぞ。
sir. These are about
そっか
nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
男女の関係がこじれ
I
る物語。
haven't read many of those.
あ
Maybe you should ask Mum.
耐え難いほど辛い破局の物
I
語
don't
はあ
think
る
it's
か
a。romance story if the main characters
そっかそっ
break
か
up, though.
すごい語るな。そうかそうか。
Sometimes they break up for a little while, but then
そっ
they
か。
always get back together. Maybe some about other books.
犯罪ってど
Crime
ういうこと
fiction
だ
is about
犯罪小
murders or
説。
burglaries or things like that,
うん。
and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
犯罪について読みたがるやつがいるのか
It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or you
これは
don't
警
look
官
much
だ。
like a policeman.
そうか。どんな見た目が警官らしいん
Didn't
だ
mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you
あ、
don't
ビ
look
ッ
like
グ
Dick
ミューレ
Mullen.
ンね。ミューレンのようにはなれそうにない。
Don't say that. He's not even real. You're real.
はーい。辛いんだ。
We can talk about something else if you want.
はい
Something nicer.
そうですね。バイバイ。発展について。何について書かれているのか。何著者名を見るだけで気力を使う。はい。未来について書かれた本。うん。こんにちは。お母様ですね、あの子の。
Welcome to crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
あ、そんな
Be
人
welcome,
だ。
and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck, in the shape of what looks like a
ラ
tiny
ンプが
fish
下げられ
head
ており
trapped
ます
in air.
な。面白いペンダントをしていますね。
Oh, yes. Helps to have an anchor in these times.
あなたがここの店主ということでいいの
I
か
am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work.
本を買う。あんたの娘は確かこの店の外に立ってる子だ
Annette,
な。
yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in
あ、
science
ちゃん
fiction.
とやってました
Tell me,
よ。
was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
話しました。
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she
うわ
led
ー、
you into
そう
the story.
か。とても礼儀正しくて頼りにな
My
る子だ
precious,
ったな。
her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great
ちょっ
as
と
mine ed.
な。元気のいい子だな。
The
変えよ
woman before you scans the store,
う。
her shoulders rigid
もう買うに
Then
は
why
どう
are
す
you
ればいい？
talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything?
どんな本を言ってます？
Everything is on the shelves. Take
は
a
い。
look yourself. The
She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books.
ちゃんと本把握してる
Truth
の
be told,
かい？
not really. My sister brings in most of the goods.
そっか。
I'm sure it's all very literary stuff, but you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories.
そっか。本読まないのか。店主なら普通。重要なことはどこで学ぶん
The
だ？
truth is available if you just know where to look, and you have to open and free your
ちょっ
mind
と見
to
てみるとしよ
She
う。
smiles and nods. See,
頭のいい人になら教えてもらえるみたいなこと言われたんだけどな。頭じゃない、お金持ってる人になら頭いいはずよって言われたんだけどな。スポーツ雑誌。
a small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak, Boreal Creature Compendium. Books in a board games section? Who wants to read books?
これだというものはないだろうか。
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition mega setting supplements.
わあ、面白そう。
The side panel notes
25
a
リアル
fantastic
だ。
adventure board game. New maps and
お金がないよ。全然。
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian.
あ、ヘルムダルだ。
Nearly all the titles contain the word mountains of it. Heroic quantities of Hyundai. Roy's puny shirt is nothing compared to the real deal. Rows and rows of Hyundai men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyundai and the Mammoth Riders. Maybe 100. Man from Hyundai and the sages at the end of the world. Not even close. Man from Hyundai in hell. Man from Hyundai and the forest of slaves. Man from Hyundai under the lake. Man from Hyundai, Hyundai burning. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyundai in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hyundai man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyundai and the Devil Woman.
興味深い。みんな、女悪魔だろ。興味
The
深い
display
な。
rack before you is burdened under piles of man from
興味あるけど。こっちはいいんです。
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
鳥かごの形をした妙な飾りを観
You
察
see
す
some
る。
kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw.
怪しい。
Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets. This is a traditional Seminese
魔除
ward.
けか。
meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges. Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fishhead charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
縦の向こう何があるの？そんなこと従業員専用のところ聞いたってな。ね。本だ。
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same
リック・ミュー
series.
レンだ。
A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do.
犯罪小説が積んであるようだが。
crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these.
Yeah.
They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of these books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, you see, Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. The stalwart adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the murder in the orchard. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the clock tower. The ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's funeral pyre. The murder of Dick Mullen.
ミューレンの殺人。
Oh no. Turns out he fainted to solve the case.
したようだ。他は
Yes. There's also the dame who did it. Farewell, my Mullen. Fate tragedy calls for Dick Mullen.
悲劇。
Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. Come on. This is not the way real police solve crimes. The real police are some 20 kilometers away.
Come on, Chester. Tell the story again.
また遠くの話を聞いているな。
Again? Man, I tell that one at least once a month. It's not
the fuck it is. And these guys haven't heard it. You see, Chester here.
自分の死を偽装したことがある。
A very fucking dangerous case, ain't that right, Chester? They almost got you that time.
Yeah, sure came close. Alright, so I was tailing this guy called Francis the Shoe.
After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
ミューレンと何者なんだ?
Your attempt to grasp at the answer fails. It seems very close by.
ダメか。 よいしょ。
The plaque on the shelf reads biographies of famous people.
I would say the Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power. A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz by one Cecilia Avabrook. High-Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and...
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse though, but not too long.
She understands she is aired against the customer and immediately corrects course.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board inside. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Ozon, Laurentide, Fas a la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic, on the disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you.
島々の上にある町が見えるだろうか。
You can, on Caillou,
あなたには見えている。
a single black star on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vimandu on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas, lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Gra is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Connections to other worlds, words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods. But looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Rivashol East. Huron, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock. The strip of coast next to the Greater Rivashol Industrial Harbour. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights. The sky. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbour.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, You can
そんな
scarcely
高いん
afford
だ
them.
地図って。
They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
あ、90セント？あ、買えるじゃん。
That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be.
ああ、お願いすることのなかった観光地を記載した
But when
昔
some
のもの。
design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago, they also renovated the horse statue. They didn't get
どうな
that
ったんだ？
far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going.
盗める。
Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up.
9
These
セン
ruins
ト
are bad for
か。
business.
地図欲しいんだよね、正
Always
直。
good to be informed of your surroundings.
はい。
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately tour. Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint Lane and Rue Saint-Cypar,
思い出さないかな。
finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the map tab.
ジャーナルメニューからマップを見る。これ。あ、やったー。今まで残しているものが、よし。見られるようになっているんだ。よし。いいね。これは買って正解だったと思うな。
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about the point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to it serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more wholeness, unity, balance. On the other, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
どういう本当の意味で超常的な一冊を見つけ出そう。
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems. The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venet or hand glue made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale. It is, and good for the circulation too. It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pale and leave them there for 30 to 60. Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
なぜそんなことが可能なん
Is it
だ
any more improbable than anything else that human beings put their
ありえ
faith
ないもの
in?
信じてるもんね。
For
他には
general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pale. Though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll
地
to
域の
less
中を
than
定
an
期
hour.
的に散策する。
These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude.
これ
Nudity
私
figures
これやってたん
prominently
じゃ
in a
ない最
number
初。
of these prescriptions.
やってたんじゃない
This is
裸
exactly
で。
what you need.
ここに注目すべき
There's
技
an
術
entire
は
section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
いや、必要な情報かもしれんぞ。あ、ごめんなさい。ちょっと気まずいことになるな。出ておこう。見ません。よし、まあでもちゃんとマップを買ったからね。ただの冷やかしにはならなかったよ。いや、しかしもう8時や9時になっちゃうな。進展ないぞ、全然。どうしたものかな。あなたはいい。わあ、まだやっとる。こんにちは。
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
人気なんだ。
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
本当に？
The coin nearly slips by your outstretched fingers and falls to the ground.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do, passing around cargo and such. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule.
The boyadero stares at you with respect. Then gestures towards the trickles of blood.
Right, always glad to help out. We're on the same branch, you and I. Humans, I mean, not slithering scabs.
なんていい人なんだ。あれ、やりたい。あなた怪しいんだよな。
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! We were promised work.
The physically impressive.
無理っぽい。どうしようかな。あ、おばあちゃんだよな。こんにちは。
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In no response, wherever this woman.
あ、キム、どうかな。
Yes.
でもない。じゃあもう何もないな。いやー、また全く進んだ気がしないな。って帰るんだ。行きたい。あ、そうか。ヤッホー。
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind?
6歳ってな、共感をあげなばならんのだ。よし。出ないか。一回戻ろっか。ものに。いっぱい人がいるね。あの人まだ寝てる。歌いたいけど歌えない。でもあんまり話せる人いないな。
Can I help you?
お金ないしな。この人は何も話せないよね。
The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives it. He doesn't like where this is going.
大丈夫？本当に大丈夫？
The door is closed. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside.
大丈夫かなこの人。鏡は無理だし。あれ、そんなやることないな。あ、ここも。もうね、今の時間から何かやろうってなってもっていう状況なんだよね。 困ったな。まだいるよ。元気ね。じゃあとりあえず港の方行ってみようか。行くだけ。行ってみよう。ちょっと待ってよ。メニューの後ろにあるボタンを押せと書かれている。電子ロックが不可っている。ロックピックするのも蹴破るのも不可能。こんにちは。
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
そうですね。
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
見極めよ
う。Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
すごいな。
Must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, I'm Sandwich. You are not in danger. Because you are not a threat to me.
どういう意味なんです？
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. Yes, Al-Ghul.
Al-Ghul って何？
Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran
毒薬なんだ。
A parasitic fungus that has colonized your race.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
これを発明したのはイルマラー人ではない。あれは新石器時代から存在している。
This is a fabrication the alchemists of Yizot and Bashir and their Rolam Al-Ghul have fed your people. Go on believing in it, race loser.
巻きつけるとダメよな。多分それが正解だな。
There is a frit nearby. Congratulate yourself with another drink.
Oh yeah, Measurehead.
This is going well for Measurehead.
都合のいい展開になってる。アルグルのしもべだが港に入らなきゃいけないことには変わりないんだ。
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the begging for help, attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen.
いや、私は頭でやるタイプなんで。
You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You dominated lesser cultures like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Koikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has helped. You will be superseded. Isn't that right?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him. Just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
勘弁してくれ。無理でしょ。無理でしょ。無理でしょ。さよなら。ああ、日和。キャー。怖いわー。戻れ戻れ。無理だったよ。無理だったよ。あれ。
lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crown with waving rays. The back end of the cabin is a small perch to sleep. Large ashtrays. There are several
racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
レーシストのトラック運転手を煽って示す。あの人のか。あのタフガイのトラックだと思うか。
This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
怪しいな。よく見たいな、これ。スキルポイントはまだ全然溜まってないね。あと半分くらい。お店だよな。どうしよう。アンモニアは持ってるもんな。それでも無理なんだよな。これなんかできんかね。サングラスとかつけたらだかな。ちょっとサングラスおいくらか聞いてみよっか。聞くだけでも。あれ、こっち行ったことないぞ。行ったことないぞ。交差点マルティネーズフトギブスにお任せ。窓壊れたよね。袋をどこでもらえるんだ。水鳥か。オートだ。これはなんだ。あ、落書きか。
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
売りっぽい。これはあ、やった。マグネシウムもゲット。あ、こっち来られるじゃん。ヤッホー。
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my pigs come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
どうしてこんなこと言う？そんなこと言うんだ？違うよ。
Not a good idea at all. Trying to sneak up on me again.
それで終わっちゃった。水巻き用ホース。雨と椅子とテーブル。吊るしが見えるバルコニー。帽子じゃん。やった。よしよしよしよし。では怪しいなあ。箱ふかしてる男。あそこでどこ。いや、いけないなあ。どうにかして。上なんか人いる。人いる。どうにかできんかね。いやー、最後の最後になんか見つけちゃったな。一日の終わりに。あ、海軍コートじゃん。すごい良さそうじゃん。班長。 暗示が上がった。少女がいる。入れる？
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment. The door rattles against your knuckles, but the door rattles again. But this.
Stop banging on the door. I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
どこの誰と話をしてますか？
From within comes the faint sound of a broom
ほうき
sweeping
で吐く
across
音
the
がかすかに聞こえて
concrete
く
floor.
る。警察です。
The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
あ、嘘言ってないよ。
No. I already told you. I won't be
これ以上
responsible
知
for
らない
any
人
more
間を中に
strangers
入れてっ
getting
て。
into the building.
知らない人間入れたんだな。裏庭のドアを見てき
Maybe
たらどうだい？
someone there will.
Backyard door. There must be another
ここに
entrance
入
to
り
the
口はもう
east.
一つある。うん。あったね、確かにね。入れなかった。あ、こんにちは。
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach.
Good evening, officers.
魅力的な女性だ。はい。
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the
パイン
owners
ズ
of the
取締
harbour.
役。
You gentlemen
あ
must be from the RCM.
どうしてわかりました？
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one
あ、
who's
そうなの
responded.
か。
Relax. She meant it in jest.
じゃあ握手しよ
I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching.
う。スト
Anything
ライ
I
キ
can
大
do
変
to
ね。
assist the RCM in this matter, I will.
あ、リンチの
Gladly.
件は担当外。
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an
ちょっ
unusual
とね、
medical
記憶喪
episode.
失なんです。
Very unusual.
でも能力はあるんです
There's a
よ。
trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
全面的に味
It's hard
方
to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
まずリンチ事件に
Quite
つ
a
い
few
ては聞
things,
き
I'm
たい。
afraid.
いろいろな情報を握ってる？
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge
あ
numbers.
ー、名前と身分証の番号。
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will
許
suffice.
してくれるかな？
How curious. Why is that, detective?
Awkwardness washes over the
まず
conversation.
い。
The woman doesn't like this turn of
最近
events.
珍しい病気を患うようになったと相棒が言ってただろう。そうなんです。
I see. So,
ごめん。
are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
うん。そうなる。まあ、そうなるな。
I can't hear you, darling.
あ、はい。
Speak up, please.
そう、うん。でも酒を浴びるように飲んだ翌日ってなんかもうね、食べちまった可能性だってあるんだ。ごめんなさい。
Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia.
そうな
I
んで
don't
す。
even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound.
あ、本当。
I
信
simply
じて
can't
くれ
imagine
る？
what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am,
ありが
his
とうご
technique
ざい
may
ま
be
す。
very unconventional, but he is an officer of the
はい
Of。course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
そうよね。
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
例えばどん
I
な
mean, favors for favors. A dirty
闇と
alliance of
同
some
盟を
sort.
結ぶのさ。 よし。OK。
Easy.
よし。
Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
法の執行者であることを証明する方法ならきっと他にもあ
I
ると
will be
思うが。
frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
何？どうする？
But expect her to drive a hard
追条件を出される覚悟はしておけ。
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union
その
controls
問
the
題を
terminal,
解決し
so
ろっ
it
てこ
goes
と
to
かな。
reason.
まず、
They're profiting from this trade.
利益得てるんだ、それで。
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
リベンジを回収。見込みないかな。
A word in private before we continue.
あ、はい。どうしたキム？どうしたキム？
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchmen. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced bag all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
こんな状況に追い込んでみません。はい。
I'm sure you will, Detective.
ありがとう、信用してくれる？こんなんでも。ハーブ取引の捜査をしないというのはどうだ？
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate. Briefly, but do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
伝えてリンチ事件にの情報を要求する。どうだろう。身分証を探すのは？
That would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8x6. You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
数ヶ月かかる。早に戻るか。
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
よし、じゃあ噂のハーブ取引について聞かせてもらおう。
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. While
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
まあ不法に
meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
何でもできるハーブ。これはつまりサマラから運んできた材料がターミナルを経由してレバーショールに入ってきてるってことですか？
After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product?
天の手でハーブを売りさばいていると？
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrart and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
と、何が言いたい？
The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
あ、そう、運転手の一人がリンチの現場にいたのではないかという疑いをすでに持ってるんですよ。
The two might even be connected.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done.
なぜもっと相談を早くしてくれなかったの？あ、そうなの。
Apparently, there's some sort of
We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
トラックがああして立ち往生してるのはな、単なる偶然というわけじゃないよな。
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries.
それで橋を上げてもらったんだ。
This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the trade committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of liters of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in. On my
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorry man would confide in.
Okay.
Yes?
調べてみるよ。
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hope it may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
ボートに乗ってるね。
Yes, I am.
こいつ名前あるのかい？
No, it is called Cordelati 19 because
こんなこと聞いたってね。
feels strange.
美しいボートです。ふさわしい名前を与えてやらねば。名前を何に使うボートです？
It's a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
名前つけてやったら？
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelati, and its hull is 19 paces
名
long.
前とかつけない人。ね。スリークフィッシュってのはどうだ？
What?
光沢があって魚みたいな形をしたボートじゃないか。
I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you.
乗り心地は？
I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, babe.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview.
I really do.
関係ないことばっか話してるな。
Is she thrown off yet?
うん。
He's looking at the woman.
あ、本当。
Assessing her.
あ、そっか。はい、ボートのことはだいたい把握できた。ワイルドパインズについて教
What
え
we
て。
do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole.
いろんな
It
授
is
業を
a
やって
giant
るんだ
undertaking.
ね。何やって
The
る会
Pines'
社？
core competency is
物流ね。
logistics. Container shipping,
そんなこと話してた
freight,
ね、
that
確
sort
か
of
に。
thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
いろいろやっ
The
てる。
Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo tribes. companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo tribes remain.
インスリンレ族には他にどんな会社が属してる？
An unknown entity known as brightest star.
ちょっと謎の組織も名を連ねてるんだ。いい会社に勤めてるんだな。
Why, thank you.
はい。どれくらいお金があるんだ？
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year the company booked more than 20 billion real in
130リアルくれません？
A billion?
100億単位だと？すげえ。
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payment. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
一体どこから調達してるんだい？
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samoan and Insulindian Easterners 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lormentanga on centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
が王から直々に独占権を与えられていただけあるな。
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
おい、そんなでかい組織はなんでこんなちっぽけなところに執着するんだ？
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
全世界の全貨物の 8%。すごいな。大変な労力を要する仕事だな。
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
あ、そっか。
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
ストライキについてどんなこと知ってます？
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
あなたの役割はどんなものですか？
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
すごい大きい人いたよね。メジャーヘッドのことか。
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
ピンチが起きる前は話し合いはうまくいってたのか？
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago.
週間前に到着した。
Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
現場に出て仕事
But
を
the
したい
strike
し。
began in December.
あ、そっか、ストライキ結構前からやって
I wasn't
た
the
んだ
original
な。
negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
組合がストライキをするのはこれが初めてでは
Heavens
ない。
no. There have been
二
two
度起こ
prior
している。
strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical
そう
plan.
か。
This time their demands are more, I guess you could say,
どんな要
aggressive.
求してきてるんですか？
There are leaflets everywhere and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the
す
board.
べての労働者を取締役会の一員に。事業というものは分かってないみたいだな。
In its defense, another said, demand democracy.
ああ。
Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board.
うん。意味理解してるやつなんかほとんどいないんじゃないか。ちょっと聞いてよこう。
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
それもちょっと
Just so
面
you
倒だね。
understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
どうするつもりなんだ？
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of
スローガン
mockery.
ひたすら繰り返してるだけ。
People are getting
もう
lynched,
リ
I
ンチされ
hear.
た人がいるん
Behind
だ
the
よ。
whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boy at the gates, the one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was "Call me mañana."
Call me mañana.
This checks out.
へえ。ゴーモンってやつはそれからどうなった？
Mr. Clare told him to. How did he put it? Fuck off, midget.
Wow.
Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
なるほどな。
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with
そうい
him
う
and
結
the
構気
union.
の強い人なんだな、クレアさん。スト破りたちを配置したのはあん
The
たか？
scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the union refuses to?
あ、そうなんだ。ちょっと他に見てる感じか。
If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company
違
secret.
う。
I could not share it with you.
違う
Not
って
right
こと
now,
だろ
at
う
least.
な。
It's
教えられない、
implied
少なく
she's
とも。
open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
クレア氏について教えてくれ。
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always
労
puts
働
the
者の利益
interests
を
of
第
the
一に
workers
考え
first.
ている人。
Of course not. Everard is
あ、そんなことないの。
fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick,
ともなく
viscous
腐敗
goo
して
where
いる
you
人
and
物。
I have blood.
こんなにやばいやつなんですか？
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
エドガー氏。あれがもう
Yes,
一人いるって
Edgar
の
looks
か？
exactly like his
ブレイ
brother,
クスルー間近
except for
だ。
that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
双子なんだ。
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
クレア兄弟を除いた組合そのものについては
The
どう見てる？
Daybarders Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that.
すごいことはやってるんだな。
Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... How do you say?
A mob. The Debarders are a
Mafia,
crime syndicate.
ah.
Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
協力関係を結ばざるを得ない状況になりそう。
Refreshingly honest, officer.
困った
The
な
company
ぁ、
has
怖い
tried
なぁ。
appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Daybarders Union is...
元の労働者の権利を守る力強い擁護者。レバショールの正義を吸い取っている巨大なヒル。社会主義を掲げたマフィア。こういうあまり意見を述びたくない。 マフィアだな。
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
でもワイルドパインズも同じようなことをしちゃってるんだな、結局は。選挙で何らかの事件があったと言っていたが、あれはちょっと待って、ブレイクスルー直前って言ってたな。よし、白い愛刀。まだ間近なだけか。選挙で何らかの事件があった。
There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
姿を消した。
On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
君の悪い話だな。
If you ask me, the Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around Claire's. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
よし、これで全てだ。
How else can I help?
現実世界について。いや、お金くれません。
But it isn't that easy, is it?
なんで言えないんだ。
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
なんて上質な生地なんだ。あでやかな髪なんだ。上質な生地ですね。
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge, and these are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible. Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are legs. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear. You're poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too.
当然だ。いい加減てめえの生活費くらいてめえで稼がなきゃな。1日分だけでもちょっとな。恥ずかしすぎるか？
Yes, you're too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to belittle yourself in her eyes.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance,
いくらか
please don't hesitate
金を
to
恵んで
ask.
くれないか。あんたの頭良さそうだな。
Reality.
そうです。ちょっとね、奇病に関わることで基本的な言葉すらわかんないんです。ちょっと教えて。
Yes, the episode sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy
金
now
持ち
that
の
I think
頭
of
がいい
it.
人ってあなたのことね、きっと。
Don't be phased, madam. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
教えてください。あ、ちょっと固まったな。
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help
はい、
however
あ
I
りがとう
can.
ございます。教えていろいろ。
We're in. I know these all look good, but begin with
一
the
番上から
first,
始める
okay?
んだ。いいぞ。ここはどこ
We're
です
in
か？
Martinez,
マルティ
baby.
ネーズですか。マルティネーズというのは
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten even. Shelled to smithereens during the revolution. It has its charms,
魅
just
力
not
はあ
this
ると
time
思
of
ってる
year.
んだ。マルティネーズのことをもっと教
I'm
え
not a good
て。
ambassador. I've only been here once before,
廃
as a
墟がある。
teenager.
ターミナル。
Not a lot has changed.
何これ？何バタ？
There are ruins, terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
A brief spike of longing in her upright body, the dots under her eyelids shake.
もう瞬間的に湧き起こった恋しさに身を焼かれて、やたらと肩幅の広い若い男たち好きなの？
This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work.
リゾート地と
The
して栄えてい
reeds are the real
たんだ
star of the
な。
show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
10代の頃ここに来たことがあるの
Yes,
か？
I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats
ラム
and
大見物。怖くてで
don't hold
き
it
んな。
against me. The boys certainly did not.
海と言ったな。これはなんていう海なん
It's
だ？
not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
湾なんだね。海の近くにいるのか？
We're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water. The
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities.
無限の青と呼んでいる。
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
この島の名前はなんて言うんだ？
Caillou.
海遊。海遊
Imagine
ね。
a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her and to humanity at large.
そんな大事なとこなのか。これでマルティネーズのことは分かった。レバショールとかいうのは何なんだ？
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a
都市と呼ぶもの。
city. The great kind.
偉大な町。
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
レバショールのどういうところが偉大なん
History
だ？
detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
この町は誰が作った
The
んだい？
nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
人によって考え方違うんだね。レバショールはできたのいつで
In
す
the
か？
DeLorean century.
380年前。
380 years ago.
ドロレス世紀の最中。なんでこの町で歴史が決定づけられるってことになってるんだ？
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean
争いが起きたとき、イデオロギーの衝突が起きたとき、男たちが進んで身を投じたがる争い。なぜ
We are
ここなん
standing
だ？
on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connected tissue. It's where the money is.
俺たちは重要な役割を担う場所のどうでもいい地域にいるのか？世界の中心にいるってことか？
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about
A sparkle of lights on the horizon, like evening stars.
ここだけなんか寂れてるんだね、この辺で。
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
見覚えのない景色だ。
We are where we are. I have no pure answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need.
どこなのか。あなた様が答えを見つけるべき疑問の一
Was
つ。
there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative.
ためになるお話ありがとうございます。
I'm sure my memory impaired partner has many more questions to ask.
いろいろ聞
But
き
if
た
might I
い
suggest not
で
asking
す
them
が、
all right now?
あ、
Monsieur
明
will
日
be
か
here later too.
一日1項目
My
だけ聞けるん
commitment
だろ
here
う
is
な。
long term.
わかった。また聞きに来るよ。
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
そうね。
Indeed.
ちょっとずつ聞こう。
I'm always at your service.
じゃあ、やめとこうかね。とりあえず一回
Glad to have been of assistance.
いくらかお金くれません？
Voila, you're doing it.
少し助けてくれ。生きていくための金が欲しい。少しだけ恵んでいただけない。
How much do you need?
130。
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this.
130リアル。
Could it be that she somehow knows more about your predicament than she's looking?
130リアルとりあえずちょうだい。
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
She removes
あり
the
がとうご
few
ざい
notes
ます
and adds them to you. The paper is
あり
cold,
がとうございま
oily
す。
to the touch.
今日も眠れます
Did you see how easy that was? Ask her for more.
いや、それは恥ずべきことだな。
Can you eat honor? Are you an omnivore? Give me a break.
今は無理や。
I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may
はい
not be
賄賂には当
technically
たらない。
illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
まだこの金という概念を理解しきれてない俺に手を差し伸べてくれただけさ。
You're right, ma'am, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they are properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
とりあえず今日は
Of course,
されよ。
Detective. Take care.
ありがとうございました。助かったー。思考しとく。やったー。はい。ドールハウスの話だったな。ズームアウト距離。あ、こんなことあるんだ。あらゆる運動能力の学習上限が1増加した。やったね。忘れる。アンロック。あ、スキルポイントでアンロックできるんだ。じゃあ次スキルポイント手に入れたらやろうかな。ちょっと待ってよ。インスリンデ族。ワイルドパインズ、フェルド、クープリス、トライサンテニアル、ビラール。名に触れたことでレバショールのインスリンデ族の名前が頭に浮かんでくる。王族による独占、タコとメカジキ、それらはもうほとんど存在していない。YBP、エクスパンダー、サンバティスト、ブライテストスター、LUM、昔インスリンデ、ウェルター、エルカセット。しかし一つ欠けていないか？いや違う、14で合っている。お前はなぜ15番目のインスリンデ族が存在すると思った？気になる。これちょっと欲しいな。未死体験。レバショール特別行政地区ル海遊インスリンで会連合政府インスリンで委託型指揮軍。次から次に知られない名前が出てくる。実在するようだが何かがおかしい。冷蔵庫に貼られたシールを眺めている子供になった気分だ。トラワント、アプリコット、カンパニー34年の世界大会。手を伸ばしてシールが剥がれるかどうか角を引っかきたくなる。これはお前が完了しなければならない最も重要な思考という気がする。これやらなきゃダメじゃん。スロット2つ開けないと。これいらないような気がしてきた。共産主義のやつ。今前内面化してないか。そっかそっか。現実について。また来るよ。
Wow. You work hard.
アクセル働いてるかな。
You hustle. You're a provider.
やったー。
It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
かな。どんな
Look at
仕事
yourself.
頑張ってる。
You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000
おー、
steps
歩き回
down
ったから
cracked
か。
asphalt. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way.
波に乗れてる。多少はな。
You make money. You
でも
got
金を
gills.
稼いだのは
Got those black papers
彼
with
女
the
のお
faces
か
of
げだよ。
the innocents on them. It ain't easy, but you do it.
あ
Day
りが
in
とう。
and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you
どうして
wanted
だから裏側
You're a
メモ
cop
受け取ったし
and
な。
a sprinter and a money printer.
人はエラがあるんだろう。どうしてだから。うん。
Oh yeah, you took that bribe
受け取っ
hard.
たな。
You're a killer.
間に合うなって男からも
You
金を
didn't
受け
log
取っ
that
た
in
な。
as a donation either. You don't log any of that shit in. You're a straight rider.
はい。怪しげなロイって男に
Yeah,
質入れしたも
you're
の
in
も
the
ある。
sales business. Shaken for shit and then pawn it off.
エラがあるんだろう
Sure.
な。
And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone in? Are you rich?
いやー、お金持ちじゃないよ。
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a
なんで
hobo.
貧乏なんだ
Because of the taxes,
税金のせいだ。
G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket,
あ、そっか。
stealing from you every
いや
time you buy, sell,
もともとお金がないだけよ。くしゃみをするたびに
so
金を
much
盗ん
as
でいく。
every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect
あ、そういうの
modes
が
of
ある
taxation.
国もあるかもしれないね。
Excise
すごい税
duty.
金がね。
98% of all
あ
your
りえねえ
money.
な。うん。いけれん。
What are you, a racist?
ライ
Don't
シス
be
ト
a
になるな。
racist. Be a cool
Yeah.
immigrant, ultra-liberal free market advocate.
たーん。あれあれ
We should think about calling it a day,
そう
maybe.
ね。
The nights are still miserably cold. You should
電
take
車
care
は
of
ま
that
だ。
then. I'll also take a room at the Whirling.
よし。
He's proud of you for getting your act together and finding a way to pay back what you owe.
よし、ちゃんとお金は集めたぞ。ちょっとだけここら辺見て。よし。帰ろう。いやー、最後の最後になんとかいただけたな、お金を。こっちに来ないといけなかったのか。なんかいる人。ちょっと待って。いや、でも夜にしか話しかけられない人なのか、あの人。こんにちは。ここで寝てるのかな。うん。なんだ、たまに黄色がピュって表示されるけど。でも黄色があったな。ただいま。お金、準備できたよ。いやー、大変だった、大変だった。こんにちは。
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it?
用意できた。
Well,
迷惑かけて面目ないな。つけ上がられるかもしれんな。ここにある。
great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please
あー、
pay
下
your
から部屋
nightly
代を前
He's
払
not
い。
sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, he really wants to make sure you're not angry with him.
I'll unlock the electronic lock to
あ
your
りがとう
room.
ございます。
All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m.
あ、21時になると自動ロック
Please
され
pay
る
for
んだ。
each night in advance starting tomorrow.
明日から20リアルね。
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything?
よし。 とりあえず今日はキムさんが何とかしてくれたんだと。あ、スキルポイントが手に入ったんだ。一回思考の方をね、開けたいな。お、アンロック。大です。よし。ここに、飯体験は最初にしなければならないようだ。内面化しよう。ここはまだアンロックできない。よし、帰ろう。帰って今回は終わりだ。あー、長い一日だったなただいま。
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
おやすみ、警部補。
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe.
あ、そっ
And
か。
besides, we should...
話そう。整理
The
したいっ
air
て言ってたね。
outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
はい。
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
今日の成果をどう思う？
Well, you were so hungover that you couldn't keep it down when we approached the hanged man. So we didn't even inspect the body. But we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene.
やったー。
That's
現場の
great.
捜索が行えた。
though you really dropped the ball on inspecting the body, he doesn't want you to feel too discouraged. Probably out of fear that you'll just give up and keep drinking.
と、あまり気に病んでほしくないんなら、心配するな。
I
明
look
日は
forward.
頑張るよ。
As for the interviews,
はい。
we weren't able to find the union leader.
あー、イブラとクレアは見つけ
Much
られ
less
なかっ
interview
た。
him. So that's on the to-do list
は
for
ーい、
tomorrow.
明日のリストに加えて
We
おこ
tried to
う。
interview the weapons rep, but she asked us to do something for her first.
うん。
Fine, so
は
be
ー
it.
い、従います。
I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run
あ
a
あ、
lot.
そうね、走り
Is
回
that
っ
a
た
standard
な。
Precinct 41 practice?
あ、ごめんね。走り回った。あ、歩きと走りでなんか違うのかな。これが41部昇竜なんだ。すまないな。
It's impressive, especially for a man your age.
そんな靴を履いて。
Those heels. Nice shoes, by the way. I like
あ、ありが
the
とう。
green. Goes with the orange.
具体的に俺たちの権力って
They're quite
RCM
limited,
とは
actually. The power officers of the Habashul Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
うん。権力はそこまでないんだな。1000リアルもっと取ればいいだろう。私今すごい1000リアル高く感じるんだけど。
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Habashul.
権力は悪用し
Yes,
やすく
although
ないか？
indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
ああ、賄賂よく受け取ってるんだ。
We
他に
can
は？
arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone indirectly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents
節
confusion
連
and
行はあんましないんだね。どうして逮捕したい相手がそこに現れる前提なんだ？
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives and have fewer legal rights
逃
when
亡
they're
者
eventually
扱いになる
caught.
んだ。
It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
へえ。もし誰かが成
We are
功
permitted
した
to use
ら？
whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
へ 誰か殺したかな。俺たちが有罪にした人間はどうなる？
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Cuba and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
俺は誰か殺したかな。
That's an improbability.
ありえ
Perhaps
ない
even
か。
impossibility.
何でも知りたいかどうかわからない。
Precinct 41 is known for higher than average rate of police
あ、
violence.
そうなんだ。暴力沙汰多いんだ。俺がもし気持ちに人を
You
殺
have
し
to
たら、
supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases,
相
the
棒が
opponent
証
is
人と
usually
な
a
る。
witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly by cross-examining you for inconsistencies.
あん
It
た
is
は
hard to
殺した
cover
こ
for
と
anyone,
あ
which
る
is
の
for
か
the
い？
best. Yes,
え、
the last time was 4 years ago.
そっか。
He says it matter-of-factly and moves on.
The coalition government and the moral intern more broadly.
連合政府と、あ、ルール作ったのね。
The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
何も言わない。
Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum.
倫理機関。あ、倫理機関。なんだそれは。
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
うん。それは知らないとしたら、そいつをどう説明する？
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
うん。信念は？
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They
信
believe
者。
they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
いやー、もう全然わかんなくなってきた。シンボルは
Interesting
何？
question. It's a blue forget-me-not.
忘れな
Their
ぐさ。
motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something kind and usual.
ごく普通の
Something
印象。
ominous.
いつな印象。
Something like the dark blue, serious
リ
color
ア
of
ス
the
な
early
時
night
代
sky
の
above.
印象。プロレスデイって
A
誰？
historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
そいつらはどう思う？
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some
愛
kind of
着のような
affection
も
in
の
him.
がある。好きなんだな。
Yes, I did. When I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky.
悪い存
That's
在じゃ
another
ない
leitmotif associated with moralism.
But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
そっか。意見があ
Do
る
you?。
今はひどい世の中だ。この町には彼らが必要だ。レバショールを取り締まる権利を与えてくれる。彼らが。連中はこの町にむごい収賄打ちをした。この景色を見ろよ。こんなのはヒューマニズムじゃない。俺たちは世界最大のブルジョア諸組織の手先でブルジョアの権利を守ってる。静かにつぶやく移民、リベラルのキプトども、女に変えられていく男たち。やっぱり俺の意見なんてどうでもいい。忘れてくれ。では違うな。いや今はひどい世の中だ。
In fact, we would need them even if you didn't think that way. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez. Most of them, at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit.
Yes. It's been a long and eventful day.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different in land, in Jamrock and the GRIH. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our two precincts.
ブロックや大レバショールインダストリアルハーバーの場合は
We run this city. West of the river is our CMA.
ああ、そうなのね。
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
逆に軽減されているというか。そうね。俺たちの捜査がこの町の状況を改善することを願うよ。ちょっとでもね。
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
そうね。
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger.
ありがとう。
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
いい人だな、キムさん。よし。よし、あと5ポイントでスキルがアップするぞ。帰ろう。うっとりしてしまったね。おやすみ。だね。
Yes?
あ、ない。鏡だってな。
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting.
おやすみ。よー
The
し。
sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come. And then sleep
は
doesn't
い、
come.
眠りは訪れないな。眠りたいのに。
Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed,
あー、
but
わ
it's
か
not
る。
happening.
なぜ
Maybe
だ？
it's the bed's fault.
ベッドのせいかもしれない？枕をチェック
Its
する。
synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Smells of alcohol and sweat and grease.
毛布をチェ
It
ックする。
barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily.
寝返りを
It's
と
a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
誰があの男を殺した？
Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep. And images start forming.
模型が形成され始める。ああ、なんだ、夢の世界に入ってきた。すぐ終わるかな。あ、すぐ終わりそう。ここにしか行けないな、きっと。その当時の、あ、違う。自分じゃん。
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
子供時代の匂い。何も覚えてないよ。
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
前の顔に触れたかみさんの手は覚えているか？何なのか教えてくれよ。教えてくれるまで質問に答えないぞ。
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone.
お前は彼女に懇願し、その後お前は通りをさまようという日だ。人生最悪の日だよ。ハリー坊や。名前ハリーか。ハリーか。その日が近づいてる。彼女はそれを電話で知らされる。
Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
あの手紙の人よね、多分。誰の手だって？
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
懇願してさまよう。捨てられたっぽいけど、でもあんなに愛されてたもんな。
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there, one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you.
彼女が出ていくのを見ていた。
Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
友達いるかな？いるのかな、友達。どこにいるんだ？でもいろいろ知りたいな。取り戻せる。
No, it's gone.
そっか。
3 times gone and never coming back.
俺を裏切った。
You failed me. You failed Elysium.
エリジウムを裏切った。エリジウムというのは
Everything. The pale and the useless. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
見たことがある。
No, you haven't. You're just sleep talking. And the actor's wearing thin, too. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Stinky boy.
出たな、爬虫類のたちが。これは立ち上がれる。
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown.
解決しようとしてるんだよ。
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts.
別のタイプの二日酔いがあるのか？
New type of hangover.
勘弁してくれ。
Oh, yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
全然眠れなかったな、うまく。こりゃ疲れとれんよ。おはようさま。
Good going, buddy.
ゾクゾクしてる。なんてこった。今のは何なんだ？
Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
何が起こ
You
ってるん
mean,
だ？
why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
どうして俺はこんなに疲
It's
れて
just
るん
that your
だ？
heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more.
アルコールですか？
Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself.
大丈夫、大丈夫だ。
Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
そんなの嘘だ。
Suit yourself.
よっしゃ。
Slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
禁酒だ、禁酒。どうしよっかな。このスロットを増やしたい気もするけど、まだ。忘れたらさ。でも。忘れたらどうなるんだろう。ヨームルミリオン。一回忘れてみようか。もう取り戻せん。キャンセル。スキルポイント使うんだ。そしたら取ってやった方がいいね、新しく。いや、でも、今、精神の、なんだっけ、共感が必要なんだっけ。忘れたな。共感だったかな。高いけどね。何かをあげてこいってタクシードライバーさんのところであったんだけど忘れたね。よし。とりあえずおしまい。楽しかった。